Man, I am super excited about today's episode. We've got another fantastic guest. It's not just me and you having to go back and forth. So, those always make it a little bit easier for us, but I'm really excited about this guest. I happened to be scrolling Facebook a couple weeks ago and saw him post something about returning from a mission trip, and just reading what he was saying, you could feel the excitement coming off of what he had written. And so I reached out to him that same day and was like, "Hey man, we got to have you on." The best part is I've known Andrew for pretty much my whole life. We grew up together. Both of us went to Red Level, played football together since we were little bitty.
First, second grade,
Yeah.
at least.
Played baseball before. His dad Marvin took me to my first Auburn football game. Remind me, Tim, I got some stories about that. We'll have to tell. We'll have to tell those off the podcast. But we're joined by Andrew Odom today, and super excited, man. Thank you for coming on.
I'm glad to be here. Glad to meet you, man.
So if you wouldn't mind, Andrew, we talked the other night, but if you wouldn't mind, just kind of share a little bit about, we always ask gentlemen when they come on, kind of how they came to know Christ and what was that relationship like. And I know some of your story, but if you wouldn't mind just sharing a little bit about kind of how that relationship came to be.
It might be growing up in such a small town with that.
Yeah. I was fortunate to have some very godly grandparents and parents. I would say my pawpaw was probably my biggest leader. I spent a lot of summers with him cutting grass around Red Level, and you learn a lot about a 70-something-year-old man or 60-something-year-old man at that point in time, whenever he's out there cutting grass and just doing it for the goodness of his heart and charging these people $20 or something for a humongous yard. So I got to hear a lot of stories Bible-wise early on, but as well, I went to church every Sunday. I mean, we went to my grandmother's to eat every Sunday. So I knew Christ very early on. Whenever I came to Auburn, I strayed away from him, just like probably everybody else does. But married a good lady, and she kind of forced me to get back into going to church every Sunday and making it more of a priority in my life. And then we come back here to Opelika 2016, 17-ish. I think we joined First Methodist Opelika, and it's like family now at this point, and it's helped me build in my relationship with Christ, and kids will help you do that too. I mean, you got to pray for patience a lot of times.
You've got two of those, two
Yes,
daughters.
I have
is that
two
right?
daughters, 7 and 4. They'll be going to second grade and pre-K this year. So, me and my wife have been married 12 years now, or she's put up with me for 12 years anyways. I have her to thank, really and truly, a lot of it, but I knew him at a very early age, thanks to my very godly grandparents. I'll say that. I don't know that I can say this about anybody else in the world, but my pawpaw, I never heard him say a bad thing about a single person.
Wow.
And that's just the type of person he was. I guess he kind of instilled it in me at a young age of, you need to be a godly man and a godly person. So,
was there a turning point or a moment that you could say you just clearly turned to Christ?
No, not really. I mean, I can say that I've always known him. I think I've been more turned on to him once I got more involved with the church. I think I see it in all the kids at our church, and my kids. I see it in all the people in our church family. So I think that's what kind of made me go, "Hey, dummy, what are you doing here? You might need to go to church every Sunday instead of going to the hunting camp and spending all weekend hunting." So I make it a due diligence of Saturday night, I'm leaving Lowndes County, coming back to go to church on Sunday. And I think he works on me in different ways than some people. He definitely guided me back to church through my wife, for sure. So,
Isn't it amazing how many we've talked to? I don't even know how many men just through the podcast, and countless others outside of it that have a very similar story, that, they knew Christ and were introduced at a young age, and all of us stray away, right? I think it's a lack of maturity.
yeah.
And then we meet a godly woman who kind of whips us back into shape, and he puts them in our lives. Tim and I are both extremely blessed to have very godly women who are not afraid to, when our priorities are getting out of line to say, hey, it's time to bring it back. So that's awesome that that's something we share.
You look close enough, you might see some scars and battle wounds.
Mine's on the back of my head. I just wear a hat so you can't see.
That's awesome. Like we said, I've known you. We went to school together for practically our whole lives, and knew your family real well. They were extremely good people. Loved Marvin to death. Like I said, he was my little league baseball coach, and carried me to my first Auburn football game. So he inspired me, maybe not so much spiritually, but he put me on the right path to being an Auburn fan, and saved me from my own dad trying to send me down the other direction. So I will always be thankful to him for that.
The majority of my friends are Auburn fans.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Well,
we took them
we're
all
good
to
people.
Auburn games at young age, like Andy Gibson. I mean,
Yeah,
there's
there were
Taylor.
When we went, it was.
I think every one of my.
I don't remember how many of us were there.
At an early age,
Marvin had us all packed into that. What was it, a Tahoe at the time?
Yeah, the Tahoe.
And
or a van. No, it was that Astro van.
Yeah, that's what it was.
It was a seat like back. Oh,
there were. I don't know how many of us young men were piled in there, but the life changing.
We had
trip.
10 tickets to that point, so I would say he took at least 6 or 7 boys.
Yep.
And he'd treat him just like he would me. So, hey, you need to shape up.
Mm-hmm.
And we would.
So, going back to the Facebook post,
yeah,
you and your wife went on this mission trip. Can you tell us a little bit about where you went? What led you there? This was, I think you said, your second time.
Yes.
Going there.
This is our second time there. And it's kind of crazy how the first time we went, that was the year of our 10-year anniversary. And we were talking about going to Hawaii, to this place, to that place, looking at prices. Can we afford this? Can we do this? We were thinking about just doing it up. And we were sitting there on the couch one day, and I had said something to Haley a time or two about, hey, we need to, if we're going to do something, we need to start, we got to book it. If not, it's going to be on top of us, and it's going to be more expensive. And so we were sitting there on the couch that day, and I watching TV, and the kids were playing, and I said, hey, we need to, I'll get my stuff out, and we'll look at the stuff for our 10-year anniversary trip. And she said, well, what do you think about us going to Honduras? I said, sounds good to me. And there was no hesitation with me at all. We've been talking about going to the beach and staying for a week, but something was in us that just said we need to go there instead. So we went there. Everybody's asked me which trip was better, and I think the second one was better, but the first one was equally as good. I just had things that I was anticipating whenever I got there.
Dallas, when she said going to Honduras, you knew right then it was going to be mission related?
Yeah. Well, I knew the church went, and we had talked about it before that we would like to go. And as soon as she said it, I was like, yeah, that sounds good to me. I mean, I'd been wanting to go too. So, I mean, jump in with both feet at that point. But the first trip down there was it was just great. I mean, we left sponsoring 2 girls that were very abused whenever they got there. They were only there for a short amount of time, but we ended up sponsoring 3 other girls that we've sponsored since we were there 2024. And getting to see them this time was, I mean, that's what we were looking forward to, Even though they're not our biological kids, we wanted to make sure they were okay, they were all right, they were getting the things we sent them at Christmas time, all those types of things. And I don't know, those kids just don't have anybody. So, I mean, it's us to be able to do what little bit we do every month for them makes it, I mean.
I can only imagine that they're a lot more, show their appreciation a lot more. It means a lot. Less means more to them, right?
I mean, the thing about it is everybody's like, well, what did y'all work on? What did y'all work on? Well, we worked on this and worked on this and worked on this. And we played with kids on this day, this day, this day, this day, this day. Play with kids. That's what you do whenever you go down there. They don't have any love. I mean, at all. I mean, they got somebody that's over them every day and telling them stay in line or whatever, but they don't have somebody that loves them every day continually like we did growing up with our parents. And it's the orphanage now. I think there were over 200 people in 2024. But since COVID come through, the government's trying to put a lot of the kids back with their parents, and I think they were down to 170, 175, somewhere in that range. So I guess that's a good thing, but it's also could be a bad thing because a lot of them come from sex trafficking, drugs, all those types of things, and that's the reason why they're in there. The first trip I don't really know what it did, but it set with us, and we knew we wanted to go back. Like we couldn't go the next summer, so hey, we're going this summer, and the anticipation was there. I mean, it, and it's crazy because we had 2 flight delays on the way there this time. We didn't have any delays last time. Nobody got mad. Nobody got upset. Everybody's smiling, joking, because we were going to see all the kids. I mean, it's crazy that I was like, man, I'm the worst traveler in the world, and I'm not mad right now at all. I'm going to Honduras.
It's amazing what happens when you got your perspective right.
It is. It is.
Timm was in Jamaica he went and helped with disaster recovery after the hurricane hit, and he was sending me videos. He was doing the same thing at a school, playing with the kids, running back and forth, just having that good time. I haven't done a mission trip like that, but I have been to third world country and seen those kids, who are standing in the middle of the street, doing a somersault for a nickel, right? Whatever they can do to make a living because they don't have anybody or anything. And like I said, just reading your post and kind of, I could feel that excitement and just how much it meant to you. And I was like, man, I gotta hear more about this story.
There's the people who started it are David and Lydia. I don't know that they're on here. There's a picture of them in here somewhere. So the way they started this orphanage was on God's love. And that's, and God's vision for them, They had great jobs in California. They sold everything they had and moved to Honduras.
Wow.
He said he was sitting on a hill one day, and this is all in his book, or the book about it. He said, I kept saying, God, what are you trying to show me? And he said, I kept seeing the sun come closer. And he said, it felt like it was getting closer and closer. He said, I looked in it, and he said, I seen these little black dots, and he said, I finally realized what it was, and it was dead children. He said, I got to do something. So they go make an orphanage, and it's completely built on God's love, really and truly. The kids there, the abuse that they come from to get there, and then you see a smile on their face. It's, man, that's only God working with them every day. And their church service, you see it in all the kids. They enjoy going to church. Now some of the 16, 17, 18-year-old boys, you can tell they could be doing other things, but the young kids are into church, and it warms your heart just to sit in a church service. You can't understand a word that a lot of them saying on the songs unless they put the teleprompter up there what it means. But it is it's wrapped around, just them and their faith and what they had to endure to put this place together. And you see it in every kid that walks around there. I can't wait to go back. Because we will go back. I don't know when it will be, but pretty soon, I would say.
Well, what's the name of the orphanage?
Orphanage Emmanuel. If you look at the map, find Tegucigalpa or whatever it is, that's the capital of Honduras. Look kind of north, you'll find it. And if you're looking on Google Earth, you can zoom in and you can see the prettiest place in Guayamaca, and that's this.
Is it an adventure just getting there?
Like it's actually some 4-lane roads now, but every one of them's on motorcycles, and they're like Evel Knievel, so you know how it is. They started out, this last trip was also pretty special because there was a girl that grew up here, that has moved to the States, got married, has kids here and all, and she was going back for the first time. She hadn't been back in 6, 7, 8 years, something like that. And getting to spend that with her and see that on her and the impact that that had on her life was it was a different experience to see that. I appreciate being able to see that and see what it did in her life and how she's been able to propel and be successful in the United States because of it. Because if she wouldn't have ended up here, who knows where she would have ended up.
Yeah. It's amazing how it doesn't seem to matter what country you're in. You know, we adopted our daughter out of foster care, and even before her, you know, we would be sent profiles of these other kids that were available for foster care, and reading through just some of the summaries about what these kids have experienced and gone through.
Yeah.
You know, it's horrible in the state of Alabama. I mean, there are some evil people here, and they mistreat children and do some horrific things, and not saying that it's different there. I just, you know, understanding how the government's different is you know, these kids' lives are impacted in such a traumatic way, and like you said, you go and see them and visit them, and they're smiling and they're happy to see you, and you know, they want to play, and it's just the resiliency of a child is amazing, and it's something that I look forward to every year when we get back to school, because I know there's going to be cases that come into my classroom, you know, of high schoolers that are in foster care or living with a grandparent, or, you know, maybe not even know who their parents are and went through some terrible things as children. And yet they're still going to come in. And my goal is to, you know, build a relationship with them, let them know that I care about them, try to point them towards Jesus Christ. And that's exactly what these people are doing in this orphanage there in Honduras.
It does. And I mean, heck, I'm Facebook friends with some of them now. I keep up with, heck, Milton the other day video called me. I don't know if he's supposed to, but he video called me. He's like, "What's up, amigo?" And I mean, he said a little boy wanted to see me, and that made my day, man. You know, and the kid that wanted to see me, he rides around, picks up trash every day and smiles about it the whole time. And this kid don't have anything to smile about in life. Man, he got beat as a young kid and left for dead. And he wanted to call me and talk to me video-wise. I mean, that tears on your heartstrings a lot, man. And it's heartwarming to know that you have a little bit of an impact on some kid's life. And we, like I said, we sponsored 3 girls down there, and I mean, I want them to succeed in life. You know, they tried to come to the United States. Me and my wife would try to figure out how to help them any way we could to get to try to succeed here. You know, and it is it's. Everybody needs to go, I'll say, especially the kids in our surrounding areas. Yeah. I feel like some of them need a culture shock of a third world country, and they see how much mama and daddy provides for them.
Oh yeah, so it's a uber humbling experience to see. Yeah, again, how little they have, and yet how much they appreciate the small things in life, the little bitty things, the little things that we just don't even stop and think about, even as grown men or women, you know, much less our kids. Just take and just fly by the seat of their pants and think everything's just expected, and here you look those kids in the eyes, and it's just literally a tale of two worlds.
Yeah. And it's to walk in, and I'm not a hugging person at all, you know. It's the first time, and I got 1,000 stories about things that happened down there, and I won't ever forget the first morning. Like, we got there late, kind of later in the afternoon, didn't get to see the kids before they went to bed that night. And I'm not a huggy, touchy person to people I don't know. Well, I walked in the Commodore that morning, and about 200 kids gonna hug you, you know. And whenever I walked out, I said, "Well, I guess I'm over that fear." And I mean, all they want to do is give you a hug, man. Yeah. And it's they have the special needs program there is very, very it's very heartwarming that they've got kids that are special needs that are 43 years old or 42 years old, and they still have them there and taking care of them. And it's I mean, and we had a special needs party this last time, and you should have seen the smile on those kids' faces or people's faces at that. I mean, because there's some of them are grown women and men, you know, but I mean, just to the emphasis that they try to put on every kid that comes in there and try to lead them in the right direction and trust in the Lord and teaching them skills of they got a farm, they got chickens, they got cows, they got a garden out there for them to work on. I mean, they're teaching them a lot of life lessons that I learned and early on in life that I mean a lot of kids don't get these days, you know. But cutting grass, I mean, them jokers out there cutting grass, bright daylight, getting after it, and I'm going, golly. I mean, it's they're teaching them life lessons, and they have a chance to succeed if they actually get there and will stay and take in God's love and the love that David and Lydia showed them. And I feel like a lot of them can succeed whenever they get there. But there's there's more in Honduras that don't succeed, that don't have the opportunity to come here, that get caught up in the sex trafficking rings or the bad drug deals and they get killed or whatever it is, you know. I mean, there's a fraction of kids. I mean, I think it's like between 2 and 300,000 or something like that, homeless kids down there. I mean, nuts, man.
So what's the ultimate goal at the orphanage? Like, is it somewhere where they try and adopt them out, or
No, you know, really and truly, adoption don't even really come up down there. I mean, me and my wife looked at it and it hurt our feelings really quick, you know, because they want like $30,000 a kid. And it's like, what? I'm trying to give them a better life. So I don't think a lot of them get adopted at all. I mean, they go through the cycle, they age out, they have an opportunity to stay at the orphanage or kind of go out on their own. A lot of them go out on their own and succeed. Some go out on their own and come back to the orphanage. I mean, in this, I could name 3, 4. Alexander, I think his number was like number 4, and they got the kids numbered like 1 through number 1 was number 1 kid that came, you know, and I got to meet number 4 this past year, and he says he's works with kids, and his heart's on fire for God and trying to keep kids there. And I mean, it's amazing how some of them have evolved to stay, and then some of them come to the United States and succeed, but some of them are very troubled and they don't make it very long after they get out of there too. I mean, so some of them are just kind of resilient against God, against not having a parents, and I think they try to run away and stuff like that kind of the whole time they're there, and they don't succeed a lot of times, I would say.
it's amazing how, regardless of where you're at in the world, teenagers are the same, right? I mean, we have the same thing happen in our schools right here in Lee County. You know, there are kids that take what you offer to them, and they're, you know, willing. They see the opportunities ahead of them, and they make wonderful lives for themselves. And then you've got kids who are given the exact same opportunity and say, "No, thank you. I'd rather, you know, go sell drugs on the corner or whatever." So it's always interesting to hear, you know, you think about these other countries and you're like, well, they've got it worse off than we do, but they really don't. There may be a lack of resources there, but I mean, the kids are kids.
Yeah. The access to kids and that type of stuff here is, I mean, so different than what we grew up with, man. I couldn't tell you where I could find some of the drugs that they find just on a corner, you know. But it's sad, you know, all around, that it's all over the world the way it is, for sure.
Well, again, I've said it several times, and I'm not just trying to, you know, blow wind your way, Andrew, but just super encouraged when you came back and talked about it. If somebody wants to get involved and help, certainly there's a way to send resources or, you know, financial resources to them. How would they do that?
You can sponsor kids. My wife would probably be the one to ask that. But she set that up a long time ago. I know that we do some connexes at Christmas time that we pack up in Opelika and send down there, and there'll be Christmas presents. There'll be stuff that, man, I remember seeing T-post and stuff like that in a pile, you know, because they can't get stuff like that down there. And I looked at some of the fences that I did the first time I was there this time, and they had metal T-post in there, and I was putting this old cottonwood log in the ground to make it work the first time, So, I think that's October that it leaves, somewhere in that range. I can get you that information.
Yeah, if you
for it.
would, or at least have your wife get it to us. We'll put it on the episode and all too, because I know a lot of our listeners would love to help out.
But I mean, sponsor a kid, you could do that. I mean, there's 100 different ways, and then obviously, I mean, our church goes every summer. We'd be more than glad to have people from outside of our church go with us. We have them every year, so anybody that wants to go, we can put them to work, or they can just go play with kids. One or the other.
We may have to take a gospel and Gradebooks trip to Honduras. That'd be a lot of fun.
Jamie can work, and I'll hang out with the kids.
Yes, I'm hanging out with you.
Well, that's awesome. Wanted to ask you a couple of other questions. You were sharing a little bit about your the nonprofit that you're a part of. You want to share that?
So I guess I started helping them in like 2017, and then I went on the board in 2018. And we were a 501c3 nonprofit. We take veterans, disabled veterans, or veterans, period, first responders, kids, all hunting, outdoors, fishing. We do a turkey hunt down in Butler County every year that we typically take 6 to 10, somewhere in that range, veterans hunting. Some of them never hunted before in their life. Some of them have hunted, but they're all deserving disabled veterans. We actually have a presence in West Virginia now, and we do a turkey hunt in Virginia that we took 5, 6 vets this past year up there, and we've done that for 2 years now, I think. We do a multitude of deer hunts throughout the deer season. And then we actually just did an offshore fishing trip. I guess it was probably a month ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, something like that. But somewhere between 5 to 10 events is what we kind of handle every year. We're small fish in the pond, but I enjoy doing it because I've hunted my whole life.
Yeah.
And taking my friends hunting was kind of how I grew up, and moved off, and you don't take anybody hunting, and I moved back here, and I was trying to figure out how I could still take people hunting some, and here we are.
I know you got a good story or two about a favorite or fun experience when you took a veteran fishing or hunting.
There was one, I think it was the first year I did the hunt, and I took a veteran from, I think it was Pascagoula-ish area, somewhere down there. And this turkey's gobbling on the size of this clear cut. And I mean, I didn't realize he was as close to the edge of the clear cut as he was, but it's 200-acre clear cut, so we're pretty good, we're well out there. And I see the turkey pitch out of the tree and land in the middle of the clear cut. I said, "Uh-oh!" So we just got down, and I break out my calls, and the first thing I said to him, he answered. I was like, "All right, well." Next, I clucked and purred at him or something, and he hammered. I was like, "Hey, dude, he's coming. Get ready." So the turkey walks out 30 steps, and this guy shoots straight over the top of him. I mean, I watched the wadding go over his head, and I'm going, man. I mean, that hurt, dude. Man, calling up turkeys is it's hard. I mean, it's easy sometimes, but then sometimes it is hard, But to have that happen on the first morning, just like that, and then throw the wadding over his head, that one hurt really, really bad.
Timm and I have talked about turkey hunting. He's never been.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's never been turkey hunting. So that's something we need to remedy that this year, because I loved it growing up. And you're absolutely right. Calling him in is difficult, but
yeah. Well, probably my all-time favorite hunt was I took 2 guys that were friends, and I typically only take one vet so I can kind of one-on-one, and my dad had something going on, and we were taking 2 guys, and I was like, "Can y'all hunt together? Y'all okay with that?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're good, man. We served together like best friends." Perfect. So we go, and I mean, get on turkeys straight out of the gate. They're hammering, man. And I think we had sat down to 3 different turkeys by 7 o'clock that morning, and just like a barnyard, This turkey, we worked him up to the edge of a food plot, and he went back down in the bottom. And I said, "All right, whenever he gets down in the bottom, we're going after him." They said, okay. Well, we went out there on that ridge, and I think I yipped to him one time, and I heard him strut, and I was like, and then he gobbled, and I said, hey, get ready, he's coming. He popped up. He laid him on the ground. I said, yes. All right, great. So we tried to get on some more turkeys that morning, didn't really make it happen. And my dad came into town, or showed up, and he said, well, there was a turkey just gobbled back up here behind the cabin somewhere. He said, let's go up. I'm going to take him to this one that hadn't killed one, all up to the old cabin. And I said, okay. Well, we're sitting there around the yard, and we hear a gunshot. So they come rolling back with another one, and the two vets killed both their birds on the first day.
Awesome.
And I was like, man, we're living right today.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Cause, that don't typically happen. And it was good to, we had so many hiccups in the turkey woods, with somebody that don't hunt a whole lot. That was really rewarding that day to get both of them, a bird on the first day for sure.
So I'll ask you the same question I asked you a minute ago, but if somebody wanted to get involved or help you guys out, support you in any kind of way, how would they do that?
We got a Facebook page, and we Ultimate Experience Outdoors. We're on there. They can also shoot us an email, shoot me a message. I mean, heck, we take donations. Every bit of it. None of us get paid for nothing. I mean, it all goes to the vet. It's 100% that's where it goes, to having an event or hosting an event or clothing them. We put whenever they come deer hunt, most of the time we put an outfit top to bottom on them, so we know they're at least going to stay warm in the deer stand, but Facebook is probably the easiest way to catch one of us. The email, as many emails as I get for work, I don't look at that one as much as I do my work on anyways. But I check it every couple of days for sure.
I want to hear about the offshore fishing. How did that you can make that?
I'm not the
Missed
biggest.
out.
I mean, I enjoy eating fish because I'm a bigger boy. I like fish, but I don't like to fish for them. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'd rather just be. Hey.
Duck or other bird hunting?
I quit duck hunting a long time ago. Dove, I don't hit a whole lot of them. I go on these construction quail hunts. I like doing that. That's a lot of fun. And then deer hunting, I enjoy doing that. My daughter got her first deer this past year. She actually shot a piebald deer.
Oh wow!
And I think it weighed 45 pounds.
Sure, it wasn't a dog.
No, my dog's bigger than that deer. But I enjoy the outdoors and spending it with. I mean, last year I think we had, for the youth hunt, I think we had 13 kids. 2 kids killed their first buck. I think we killed 3 or 4 or 5 does or something like that. I mean, it's a good time to get a bunch of kids in camp and they start killing their first deer, and or they just get to spend time in camp. There's not really any rules at our cabin besides don't get hurt and have a good time, and don't do something stupid that's gonna get you hurt. So, but
you were going to tell us about the first annual take a teacher hunting trip that you got planned coming up, right?
Would definitely be entertaining, hadn't it? Would be entertaining. Give you that, and we can cook, and we like to cook, Andrew. So if one of our students or even an adult or is listening and they say, hey, this, I want to get involved, and that they may not have, what would just be your best advice if somebody's wanting to get involved in some mission work?
First to pray about it, and make sure it's right for you. Because you need to be right on that front of things before you just say, I want to go on a mission trip. Going to a third world country, I think it does something to you, and you see things that you need to be right with the Lord and make sure you're understanding why you're there.
Right.
But I would say pray about it, and then heck, if they want to go to Honduras, I can get them. Contact me. I can get them hooked up with something. There's a lot of need for volunteers down here. Kids that come out of high school or starting their first year of college, and then they don't know what they kind of want to do, and they want to take a summer off. Go down there and volunteer. They always need volunteers. They got 160, 70, 80 kids, and every one of them could be played with. They ain't got that many people volunteering to work down there.
Right.
Maybe 5, 6 volunteers, and then they got their staff that's on there all the time. So there's a lot of kids I see. There was kind of from all over. There was a girl, I think she just graduated high school, that was spending the summer down there. Whenever we were there, that's a good opportunity for, kids that are all the seniors at our church go whenever they become seniors, but they give you an opportunity to go after you get 13 or 14, I think is what it is.
Wow.
The age limit to go.
What an opportunity.
And it's, and if parents, if you're listening, send your kids.
Life changing.
Go with them.
Life changing.
It is. It's, I'm ready for my kids to go, and they're only 7 and 4. I can't wait till they get to the age and they can actually go, and they say, I want to go, and I go, all right, we'll get the plane tickets.
There you go.
It's it gives you a different look on life, that's for sure, and it makes you think about how blessed you really are. Just to have a light switch sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Or an air conditioner for sure, especially with us big boys.
Bed. Yeah, bed, clothes, shoes.
Beds. We did have beds. Uh-huh. Andrew would have probably drew the line at no beds. I will say that.
You had large air beds, but air mattress.
Man, Andrew, cot for a week sounds horrible. I would do it, but man, it would be rough for sure.
We're getting too old. We can't.
Yeah.
Used to, we could have just slept in the back of a pickup truck for 3 days straight, and now it's got to be Tempur-Pedic, memory foam pillows.
Oh yeah, I got one of those nice pillows.
Yeah,
it makes you sleep really good.
But like I said, I'm so thankful that you came on. This was awesome. We live 20 minutes from each other, grew up together, and we never see each other. Randomly run into each other. Texas Roadhouse or something. Yeah. So it was awesome of you to come on. I had a fantastic time. Super encouraging to get people involved in mission work, and it doesn't just have to be overseas. You're talking about your nonprofit is doing the Lord's work right here, and reaching out to kids and helping them experience the outdoors, and just amazing things. I'm so proud of you and seeing what you're up to, and how the Lord's working in your life, and I'm excited. I hope we get to see a whole lot more of that in the future.
Well, come on and go to Honduras with me next time.
We may just do it. Would you mind praying us out?
Sure. Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for these guys and this podcast that they've put together to shed your light to the world, and to what they do with these kids in this area of Smith Station, Alabama. Lord, we know every one of them needs you. They're just shining a light for you. Please be with us throughout the rest of this week. Please bless this podcast throughout the rest of this year and the upcoming years. Please be with all those kids in Honduras, and especially at Orphanage Emmanuel. We ask all these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, brother.
Appreciate your time, man.
I enjoyed it, man.